For this particular episode, we are again very, very happy to have with us one of the leading in the event industry, much awarded. In fact, I believe he's already a Hall of Famer, or he should be. I refer to none other than RJ Ledesma, who's this man who's very close to our hearts. We not only did his wedding, but also a lot of the events for his family, including the wedding of his sister and his brother. And with that, I say, RJ Ledesma, welcome to Drinks with Rita.
Cheers, Tita Rita. Thank you so much for having me. I'm missing seeing you in person, and I look forward to seeing you once again live in an event. You know,
I know, not just like this. But before we start, what are you drinking? White wine?
I'm having some white wine. It's the middle of the afternoon, so some white wine just to make things a bit more pleasant this afternoon.
Okay, I'm sticking to my Aperol Spritz. That's my new poison right now. But cheers to you.
Cheers.
Okay, what has been keeping you busy? And I know you are keeping safe.
Yes. Well, yes, thanks, Rita. Yes, I've been trying to keep safe as much as I can. Now, I wear usually two hats, and one is as an entrepreneur and one also as a host. So when this initially began, the ECQ, those are two things I missed out on the most, being able to host and being able to be an entrepreneur. And
Yes.
it's just very great that earlier on, during the ECQ, I was onboarded by GoNegosyo of Joey Concepcion,
Okay.
a regular moderator, and
Yeah.
moderate their events. And aside from that one, I also helped out with a group called Bounce Back. It's a business support group, which has grown to about 36,000 people right now. And I also have created, produced, and moderate events there as well. And I'm also been doing a lot of speaking for different groups, speaking on entrepreneurship, speaking on the new normal, speaking for startup businesses. So for me, it's been actually much busier than if there wasn't an ECQ, because almost every day I'm online, maybe once or twice, giving webinars, giving forums. And I think it's a great way to exercise my hosting skills to make sure that I continue to sharpen the saw and to learn how to communicate better, especially online. That despite the fact that we are online and we're not physically together, that I know that I'm able to create a sort of rapport and build the audience and translate my own hosting skills online for the new normal. And so it's been a very roller coaster journey, but it's been a great journey in learning how to become a better host even during ECQ by going online.
Just told me, it's just like it's already getting me breathless, because I know all your hours are accounted for on a regular non-COVID day, but now you're even, like what you said, more busy, and you're reaching out to more people.
Yes, Tita. I think it's a key thing, because for me it's a giving back. We've all been given specific skill sets, and then during this ECQ, I think that initially all we felt was we all felt very helpless at the start. What are we going to do? But I realized that there are people who feel a bit more helpless than me. Where am I going to be getting my job the next day? Will there be income for my family? What's the security worth for me? What do I do next? So I said, it was time for me to wear both my entrepreneurship and my hosting hat. How can I help the most people I can? And through speaking to the people, the friends I've made throughout all my hosting jobs and my business moderation jobs, I think this has been one of the best venues I could do, but by becoming a host here and moderator. And at the same time, what people don't realize is that I'm learning so much. There's so much I'm learning.
Yeah, that's true.
And for our events industry, I've been very, I've learned also for myself and for my fellow event suppliers, actually, what's the next step we should all do together? Every time I talk to different people, I get to see what they're doing in the events industry. I get to see what they're doing in the restaurant industry, in the real estate industry. And, in true entrepreneurship and innovation fashion, you bring in what you learn from the other industries into the events industry, into the wedding industry.
Yeah.
And the key thing I've just realized is that At this point, it's really a matter for us to continually, meaningfully communicating to our clients, saying everything's going to be all right, and we're going to still create an event for you that is going to be meaningful and that you will remember. And at the same time, taking the situation, realizing, you know what, we don't only have to commemorate events in a specific way that we're used to.
Okay.
Things change, but it's the same thing. Intimacy is still the same. Communication is still the same. The importance of the event is still the same. And it's our responsibility as people who capture, who memorialize, who make those events very important, to give it that depth, that gravitas, even going online, even creating different things, to still make it something that is the most important day in their lives.
How do you calm the fears of, let's say, your clients or those your followers? You know, I mean, what are you saying to them?
Well, Tita, first of all, many clients who come up to me are, you know, and I've had several of them who are actually frontliners, not just here in the Philippines, but even in the States who've had to delay their weddings. So really the first one is that you assuage their fears. You know, I think the first one is the empathy. I mean, we are all going through this one. I say, I really hope that you guys are okay. Are you doing fine? Don't worry about things. We can talk about things later on. If you've got to move the date forward, please do. The more important thing right now is keep yourself safe. Keep yourselves healthy. I am praying for you. I know that you're looking forward to this day. Let's try to make it even just as memorable as you imagine it would be, bringing it forward. And I think that's the most important thing we can do. We are not just delivering a service, we're delivering one of their best experiences possible, diba? I mean, that's what we are. We are their milestone. We are their morale booster. And we assure them that whatever we do, we still provide them that type of morale booster, something that they can always look back on. And you know what? You have to take, you know, in retrospect, you might think back and look at this moment and say, you know what? That was a very memorable wedding. It might have been done in the midst of this pandemic or right after the pandemic, but the way that it was executed, everybody remembered it. And that's what you also want for them, because it's really the memories that you take up. It might not be how you expected it in the past, but it might be even better than how you ever expected it to be moving forward. And that's the thing we must remember.
How early on were you aware of what was happening?
Well, I mean, I was following the news, and of course I have my own business, so we had to create our own sort of contingency plans for my own business. But like I said, people were still booking up to 2 or 3 days even after the ECQ. People were still going online and booking for my services.
What was your last event, RJ? March, around mid-March still?
My last event was probably 2 or 3 days before the ECQ. I can't even remember anymore, because there was a combination of corporate and weddings and moderations and business moderation all going on at the same time.
If you have a client who wants to move their date, would you still honor the deposit and everything?
Yes, Tita, I'm perfectly fine, because I think it's right now. It's a collaboration. It's a partnership between you and your client. You were specially chosen because they wanted you to be their host. They wanted you to be their photographer, your videographer. It's a privilege. And then in our industry, it's a privilege for us to be chosen by them, because we customize the event for them. And I want to give back to my clients there as well. So when people ask me, can I move the date? I readily say, yes, feel free to move the date as long as I'm still available on that date. I will gladly reserve it for you.
And there's no additional fee, no, RJ? For you?
Not at this point. We want to make the date memorable for them, and we also want to make it not as stressful for them as possible. This is not something that we wanted to happen to us. This is not something we wanted to happen to them. So the less stress on their part, the better.
What would you say is the new normal as far as your hosting is concerned? Because I don't see you more or less hosting with a face mask or a face shield. So how do you foresee that?
Well, the first thing is I just realized in terms of safety and hygiene purposes, I will bring on my own mic. I will have my own mic for my weddings. As you can see, I have my own mic. I already have my own mic for doing the webinars and my forums. But then first is the own mic for the weddings. But more importantly, it's really because our value as a host, I think, is two things, right? Number one, we're sort of like producer director actor when we're there. I mean, we talk with you, Tita, but in the end, it's like it's your call on how you want to run it. Once you're there, once you agree with the client, it's your call on how to run it. Where the host is still there because we understand the intricacies of human behavior. We understand the flow of events and how to make it fun and lively and animated. That's why we're there. We're still there for the planning. And then for the live program, although we can't interact with them as close as we could in the past, that's where the creativity and innovation of a host comes in. So for example, I used to do programs where I would approach the tables, but now it's easier to do because I'm thinking that in the future, as weddings become more intimate, you won't have as many guests as we used to have before. We might have about 50%. So it's easier to look across the room and call out a table over there to talk to them. And there are also digital. We can also use. We can also now do more interactions together with the tech team. For example, if we do questions and answers, we can have something where something comes out on the screen. We can have the cameras panning in close to the table that you're referring to, and as they do, you can ask questions from them as well. And then if we do interactive games, let's say on stage, which is the game which I usually play during my weddings, you have to really choose people who are not quarantined from each other. You can only choose people who are couples, who live together, who can join you. And there's no need for you to go closer to them, I guess, but then you prepare materials which they can just pick up easily for them to join the game, you know? And then there are cameras which pan closer. So what has to happen now is that even more during a situation like this, you have to hire professionals who know what they're doing. So for example, you just get a friend to do those type of things. He won't understand how to work with the tech team, the video team. What do you do? How do you put this video there? How do we make it more intimate? How do we make this more fun? But you as a host, you understand these things. You go, okay, tech team, please focus on them over there. Event planners, please make sure the materials for them are over here. Close up on his face. I mean, these are the type of cues which you give as a host, so you keep the program still lively and animated. And at this point, the skill level has to actually increase as a result of all this one. Imagine this one.
Level up,
because you're being creative, but at the same time, you have to have a technical understanding of what's going on at the same time.
I totally agree there. But let me ask you, because I know you are often in contact with clients, whether socials, corporate. What are the questions they more often ask you aside from postponements?
Well, for me right now, the biggest one is really just the postponements. Many of them are still looking forward to pushing through, but I guess really number one is it's what we call our pre-production meetings, so really meeting the clients for event planning. I guess we take it to this format. We take it to a conference call where we talk together with the clients. We just have to be much better in presenting what we do to the clients if it's going to be online. So we don't have much contact with them before. We're able to build better rapport with them. And the other thing that we also have to do is many of them are just asking for postponements, but after that they're asking, what can we do to continue keeping it creative and intimate, even if the crowd is less, or we've got to use a sort of what we call nowadays the blended format, Tita, which when I say blended events, it means that there's a combination of people being there live. And there's also a combination of people just watching the event. Maybe I was talking to our friends from Force Inc. and I was saying, you might have to put strategically placed cameras where people can watch the event live, and we can do close-ups and pan-outs as well. So that way, this sort of interaction we're discussing, because that's what's going to make the event still lively, that even if you're not there, it feels like you're there. And the second thing also is just working a lot with the tech. This is going to be a closer relationship now with the tech team to make sure that it's going to be almost like a live TV show. Like it's like almost like a live variety show that we're doing right now. So that means that when the people just have to be sharper in terms of close the camera in, take the camera out.
Yes.
Those type of things.
But RJ, aside from the postponements and these concerns, and they're very valid, but how do they reach you? I mean, the usual way, email, social media, especially for those who want to book you for their coming events.
Tita, so for those who have already previously contacted me, email is still the best format to get to me. But then up to now, people still contact me through my website, through SMS, through WhatsApp, through Instagram, through Facebook. So I'm still getting a lot of inquiries here right now. In fact, because of all the talking I've been doing online and getting used to things, people have been asking me to do, in my other hat as a professional host, to do more webinars and to do more podcasts and to do more online forums, because that's the expertise that I have. But at the same time, I'm still getting a lot of wedding inquiries because people, it's not an event, if they want to give value to something, this is something that they want to give value to. It's a big.
I totally agree. Yeah.
It's a big
We've been together in several destination weddings. What's your take on? Are you comfortable doing destination weddings, whether locally or internationally?
I think right now, until we understand how far the ECQ or GCQ will be. I mean, at least for the next 6 months, it would be great. It would be prudent for everybody holding a wedding to make sure that it is within at least Metro Manila, for everybody's peace of mind. Because even if it was a destination wedding for the couple and they really wanted it, it might not be something that the guests might want to do. So we have to think also of what the guests want to do with regard to the wedding. Am I willing to fly out? We just have to make sure that that we in the wedding industry, events industry, have a certain protocol that we have in place to say that is the airplane going to be is that area free? It's no longer a hotspot. That the venue that we're going to has been cleared. There will be an increase in the level of safety awareness. I mean, for me, I'm willing to go. I'm just very cognizant of the fact that we as an industry need to elevate also the level of safety and hygiene protocols, because this is a new normal. There's also new standards to everything.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure that the airline can assure that that the airline is saying it's safe, and the venue that we're going to is safe, and the hotel we will be staying is also COVID-free, because it's not only my welfare I'm looking out for right now, but of course also the welfare of my family when I come back home.
Yeah. What you lightly touched on some possible trends, the new normal trends. Do you foresee any new trends coming in, especially for weddings and other social events? Like there was one guest that mentioned definitely a table for 10 is not going to do. We're going to have to change that. Any other trends that you foresee?
Well, first of all, what I foresee really is, of course, aside from the lessening of the guests, which is going to be par for the course, because we're doing our proper social distancing, is that it gives the events people, number one, a more innovative way of how to create social distancing on tables, which is a new way to become creative. Whether it is an acrylic between couples. I mean, they could make it. That's their challenge, diba? That's where people have to rise to the occasion over there to make the event both safe but creative at the same time. Because that's my challenge as well. That's the challenge as well of the videographer, photographer, tech team, events team. That we rise to that sort of occasion. Our bigger thing is now that as weddings become more intimate, how do we make it just as meaningful? And for me, that will require a combination of the look and feel, so that even if it's more intimate, it still feels very grandiose, if that's what they want. And that's something that's accomplished through the stylist. Number two, I see that buffets will no longer be where we will no longer be having buffets to prevent social distancing and to keep
yes, totally, yeah.
the plates the plates clean at the same time. And I think a lot of it will have, because of the lack of being able to travel, there will be a lot more videos coming to play, live videos, especially during the event. People coming in, doing the live videos, doing the games where there'll be more interaction between live and video at the same time. That's how I see things happening a bit more. That people will be will have more video requirements, tech requirements if they were to do really great weddings, because. And I think also as well that even if less people come, you will see a lessening of the guests, but maybe an improvement, or that means you have more time to spend on the quality of the food. You have to spend more money on, maybe more budget on the video, to make sure you capture it much better. People can live stream your wedding from where they are. They can participate. But that's why I see things becoming a bit more intimate as weddings go on.
Let me ask you, once this situation was made clear and the extent of its effect on us, did you gather your people, your staff, your management to do any strategic planning? Did you install, some online apps and everything in order to cope with this? Because you wear multiple hats, like what you mentioned earlier. So not only for the events industry, but also for your other work, did you do any kind of preparation as a result of this?
Well, Tita, really, a lot of what we had, and I'm glad that many of what I had were people who could do literally work from home. I have a consultancy company which I work with foreign businesses investing in the Philippines, so that could be really a work from home. I also run Mercato Centrale, which is a night food market. That one got shuttered because of the ECQ. I had to wear my entrepreneurial hat and said, what is the essence of my brand? And the essence of my brand is that I am a business that helps incubate small food vendors. And I said, because it can be done from a brick and mortar fashion, meaning physical format, I could do that before, but since I am unable to do that right now, I must transform my business and bring that online. So now I have an online delivery platform that does that one. But in the end, what it just really showcases the idea that, we have to remain true to the essence of our brand, and we've got to remain to be creative. Tita Rita, both you and I are Agora awardees, right? For marketing excellence, for achieving entrepreneurship. And one of the marks of being a really great entrepreneur is that, we don't see situations like this one, like this pandemic, as problems only. These are just pain points, but in every crisis, there is an opportunity. There's always something, you have to be innovative to find ways to solve these problems. And for me, my essence as a brand is I am a good communicator. I am somebody who's supposed to make people feel comfortable. I am supposed to animate a discussion. And I dare say that that's why people keep on asking me to host more forums, because that's where the skill set starts to come out. They can get anybody to moderate at a specific time, but maybe the numbers of people drop out. Maybe they're not as engaged. Maybe the questions are not as insightful. Maybe they don't know how to make things more lively in the discussion. And that's why you go back to people like us, professionals, right? And that's why I do all these videos and seminars. I mean, it's a great way for people to see us. Hey, now actually more people get to see me talk. More people get to see me host. People get to see me handle a discussion.
Your reach is farther, so much farther.
So much farther. And Tita, interestingly enough, the other day, I gave about a few weeks ago, I gave a talk on business insights or entrepreneurial insights of how to pivot your business in times of crisis. And it was about a 45-minute talk I gave on how to fix up your business. And funnily enough, there were people commenting over there that said, hey, that was the guy who hosted that wedding. This is the guy who was, I didn't realize that RJ was a business person who knew all this. And so he saw me in a new light apparently, as a result. And I'm just saying that they realize also, it means it's a reassurance to people that, you're a good host, whatever happens. If you do an event for me, I'm assured that whatever happens, whatever situation is there, there's a plan A, plan B, and this guy's got this sharpness of mind. He thinks on his feet. And
yes.
At the same time. So we just stick to our brand and show people that we can do it very well.
Yes. On that very, very positive note, RJ, please reach out, give a message to all your followers, and I know they're legion, and to all the couples and the general public out there. Please give us a message that you want to impart to them.
Yes. Well, first of all, you know what? Whenever people keep on saying it's the new normal, in the end, what it's going to become is the normal, right? And that's what it's going to be. Maybe we have to realize that our expectations pre-COVID cannot be maintained in a post-COVID world. And that should be fine, because things are they're not worse, they're just different. It's just a way of us accepting that this is how the world is going to be. But that doesn't preclude the fact that things can be more intimate, more celebratory, more passionate, more grand. It's just a matter of us, putting on both our hats. That's our job. We, as your suppliers, are supposed to give you that experience. Cognizant of what's happening now. In fact, it could be an even better experience. There are things that, you know,
yes,
you didn't plan for it this way, but maybe what we're doing right now is even better than what you planned for originally, right?
yes.
There could be something different. Things might not go your way. I remember. For me, the best things I remember. Tita Rita, when it was my sister's wedding, somebody ate the wedding cake because he thought it was part of the dessert, and he ate it. But in the end, what happened was that's the funny story, right? That's what people look back on all the time. We can always look back at this time and tell people, hey, remember we got married in the midst of this pandemic, and look what happened. What great stories you had coming out of that one. And our job is to help you craft those great stories for you. So we're still here to help you create the most memorable day in your life. We're here to make it more fun, more blessed, and with more character at the same time. You just have to give us the opportunity to work together with you. It's the most important day. So obviously, don't cancel it. Just postpone it. Move it forward, and that gives us more time to craft more ideas and to make things even better for you in this normal environment that we will have post ECQ. And I want to let all the couples know that I always pray for all of them. You know what? Whenever we do a wedding, Tita Rita, and I always have people do a father-daughter dance. For me, people don't know, but I kind of choke up every time, and I kind of go to the side because I can see myself dancing with my daughter when the time comes and she's got to get married, because it's such a meaningful thing for me, and I want that meaning to be translated still to everybody else who I'm doing. So I pray for them because I know that they want this important day to be meaningful for them as well, and we want to give them that. We want that emotion to be there for them.
RJ, I have to interrupt you at this point because I remember you telling me that your daughter's not going to have any boyfriends because you're putting her in a convent.
That's right, Tita. That's right.
Okay. I cannot forget that. Now, please invite everybody to watch your segment in our show.
Yes, thanks again, Tita Rita, and of course to the whole Rita-nary Events Planner team. I love you guys so much. I pray that you are all safe and well with your families. Just to let everybody know, I began my wedding hosting career with Tita Rita, and I'm always very thankful for that. You know, I'm very thankful. The first time I ever hosted for Tita Rita was for my sister's destination wedding in Baguio. And when I was hosting, I was very, very drunk because this was exactly plan A, plan B. When we did that wedding with my sister, we had such a fantastic, lovely arrangement in the manor.
Yeah, the manor.
Camp John Him Manor. And then it rained so strong. So we had to go to plan B. And the plan B was to get all the guests drunk in one room before they had fixed everything up outside. But people had so much fun at that time. And I had so much fun. Tita Rita said, hey, let me take a chance on this guy to host her wedding. So I'm very thankful for her. In fact, when I won my first Aliw Awards, when I found out, the first person I called was to thank Tita Rita. Sabi ko, Tita Rita, thank you for all the times you sent me to the host weddings because it really improved my craft, improved my ability to work together with people. And now I'm a Hall of Famer. They don't want to give me any more awards. I'm a Hall of Famer now in Aliw Awards. So I'm very thankful for the team. And I do hope that kahit paano, this little dinner, this little drinks with Tita Rita was an inspiration for all of you. We don't have to always look at this situation as a crisis for all of us, but rather an opportunity to celebrate things under a new light, with a new perspective. So again, I invite all of you, please catch our drinks with Tita Rita. I promise you a very, very fun episode, and I continue to keep all of you in my prayers.
Thank you, RJ. Thank you so much. Cheers to you. Cheers. Take care. Love and hugs to the family, to the 3 beautiful kids, and to Vanessa.
Thank
Cheers.
you, Cheers. Love you, Tita. Thank you.
Love you.